downstream value-added clusters related to copper and create that electric revolution, or participate or lead that electrification revolution, which is now becoming visible in the way of the electric car and so many other things that are happening in Saudi Arabia. I think the supply chain, the value chain, the integrity, the security of that value chain, we can build together, both Pakistani companies and Saudi companies. We want to move downstream as well. Some of the downstreaming we do in Pakistan, and some of the downstreaming we'd like our private sector to go and invest in Saudi Arabia, collaborate with the Saudi companies and join hands and continue to move forward towards the diversification of economy and also towards value addition downstream sectors. What is it that Saudi Arabia, what do they have? They have the world's largest resources of crude. And what we are doing right now is locking that crude and moving that crude downstream as well. And we are not just moving it in the way of taking crude and converting it to petroleum products. We're taking the crude, bringing it into Pakistan, and then breaking it into petrochemicals. Because the market for petrochemicals is global, and we would like to plug into the global value chains. So we would take the assets that we have and move them forward into global value chains by downstreaming. We take the assets that Saudi Arabia has and we'll move them downstream and plug them into the global value chains. Both countries would prosper. Obviously, Saudi being the bigger brother, the richer brother, would have to lead this charge. But we would like to be collaborators and partners in this journey of grand transition. And the third thing that we have is the talent. I've already mentioned that. So there's electrification revolution, there's a chemicals revolution, there's also a technology revolution taking place. Whether it be machine learning, whether it be artificial intelligence, whether it be platforms, whether it be applications. I know I have worked at KFUPM, I've been a professor at KSU. I know what Saudi talent is like. And having grown up in Pakistan, I know what Pakistani talent is like. And if you put these two talents together and move them forward into this new vision of a society, I think we can tap into the global value chains and articulate our talent into that value chain in a big way. So we have three kinds of assets. We have minerals, we have crude, we have people, we have talent, we have scholarship. We put our hands together and we have a big play. And ladies and gentlemen, what is it that we need to do all of this? I've told you that we have the largest copper mines across the world. But what we're also inviting both the private sector and the public sector is to build the infrastructure for that. Build the road infrastructure, build the train infrastructure, build the port infrastructure, particularly at Gawada, which is the closest journey from all the assets that we have to, like a corridor to the rest of the world. So we are not only leveraging our assets, we are also building the infrastructure. And we are inviting both the private sectors of Pakistan and the private sector of Saudi Arabia to come and participate towards building that infrastructure, which is pivotal in the way of unleashing the assets and the wealth that Pakistan and Saudi Arabia jointly have. So far, my friends, we are exporting our food products. And we already have programs together, and today the largest entourage is in agriculture and food security. About 35% of Pakistani food products, they get perishable food products, they get wasted. They get wasted on trees, they roll on the streets. What we are now doing is, first of all, taking everything that we have and connecting it to the food security of the GCC. And not just the Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has a grand plan of being the corridor, the food corridor, to the GCC and also to the rest of the world. And we would like to have a joint program, not just a project, a joint program where we can put our hands together, and the Pakistani agricultural assets that we have and the Saudi desire to be a global player and ensure the food security of the region as well as be a corridor to the rest of the world. We'd like to be partners in that, and that is why the biggest entourage today that we have on both sides is in food and agriculture in the private sector. So we'd like for you to take the opportunity today, get to know your partners, create relationships and move forward. And what we want is not just export, but what we want is your joint efforts and investments to move downstream towards value-added activities and create basically the plug into the food chain, into the fruit chain, into the juice chains, into the cheese chains, into the meat chains of the rest of the world. And today is your opportunity to get to know each other and forge a relationship. And in terms of the vibrant society that Saudi Arabia wants to move forward, that vibrant society is grounded in religious tourism. And what is it that we want? The biggest desire of a Pakistani is to participate in that religious tourism. If there's one desire that a dying man in Pakistan or a dying woman in Pakistan or an aging person in Pakistan has, it is to go and before closing their eyes, look at our holy mosques and pray to God, pray to Allah. Saudi Arabia wants to promote that. We need it for our own spiritual journey. So that's fantastic. But we have another tourism in Pakistan, which is family tourism, which is experiential tourism. If you go into the northern areas of Pakistan, and I know Saudi families, they're like our families. They'd like to be at a place that's comfortable, where they can take their families, daughters, sisters, hang around comfortably. And what we are trying to build now is an integrated experience of tourism, hotels, five-star hotels, ski resorts in the northern areas. And today we have private sector parties on both sides which can put their heads together and build that experience and strengthen that journey as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you of a few things. In fact, I want to assure you of only one thing. That is no more. We have already embarked on a journey from red tape to red carpet. The SIFC framework that we've put together, and General Sarfraz, my friend, he's going to tell you why it is a guarantee of success. How it is a guarantee of success, what would happen empirically because of which things that did not happen shall happen now. How we are going to transform the red tape into red carpet, which we've symbolically laid in front of you for the past 24 hours. I hope we've been able to do half the job that you do. But we are committed, our Prime Minister is committed absolutely to lay a red carpet, not just in the way of our foreign investors, but also the Pakistani investors. So we're going to break the shackles of these regulations. This ease of doing business is not just an idea, not a report. We are not going to report to you that our ranking has improved. We're going to give you the experience of this, what we're calling red carpet. So we are all committed to this. Ease of doing business and private sector first. Private sector first, private sector second, private sector third. That's the journey on which we are embarking. And we'd like to invite the private sector on both sides to join hands and move forward. We're going to create transparency. We're going to create level playing field. And all of these hogging of assets and trying to get, so to say, elite captures, those days are gone. It's going to be straightforward asset, straightforward competition, level playing field, whether you're rich or you're a young man or woman who's starry-eyed and has a great idea. The country is going to be, a red carpet is going to be laid out for you, and through fierce competition, we're going to move forward. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all. I just wanted to make sure that today, at least when you walk away with only one message. We're committed to the private sector. We're committed to our investors. We have a relationship of brotherhood, not friendship, with Saudi Arabia that we're going to move forward. And may Allah guide us and make us successful along this journey. Thank you very much.